The iconic cowboy stars of your favorite westerns look very different today. Given the man's staggering amount of credits, it's probably not surprising that Dern has no fewer than 10 upcoming projects. He's donned his cowboy boots again for roles in westerns, too. You might have even caught him in Quentin Tarantino's 2015 epic, The Hateful Eight. But to some Old West fans, he'll always be the bad dude who gunned down John Wayne in The Cowboys. Jeff Bridges. There's no denying that Jeff Bridges looks good in a Stetson, and he's donned the classic hat for many a western in his time. He even appeared in classic 1960s TV show The Loner as well as 1970s movies such as Bad Company and Hollywood Cowboy. But Bridges was also part of Heaven's Gate, the infamous flick that all but killed westerns in the 1980s. Yet in recent years, Bridges has found that the western has been good to him. The star was Oscar-nominated for his turn in 2010 remake True Grit, and again as the sheriff in 2016's Hell or High Water. The genre is actually one close to Bridges' heart, too. After all, his father, Lloyd Bridges, starred in a fair few good ones. Buck Taylor. It was perhaps inevitable that Buck Taylor would earn his spurs in westerns. After all, his father was Dub Taylor, an actor also well known for cowboy movies. But of his 117 acting credits, Buck is still fondly thought of as newly in TV's Gunsmoke. He played the role for 8 years, or 174 episodes, so that's kind of understandable. And even after Gunsmoke finished in 1975, Buck never strayed too far from his western roots. In the intervening years, he's saddled up for gun-toting movies such as Tombstone, Cowboys and Aliens and Wild Wild West. He even paints western scenes you can buy. Plus he appears alongside fellow western star Kevin Costner in Yellowstone. Lee Majors. Such is the appeal of Lee Majors that the star is known for not one but 3 major TV shows. And while some people may remember him for The $6 Million Man or The Fall Guy, we're really interested in his time in the Big Valley. Here, Majors played Heath in all of the Western show's 112 episodes. Provided Majors with his acting breakthrough, but the star hasn't much returned to Western since. Yet the show holds a special place in his heart. In 2015 Majors told Den of Geek, "To this day, The $6 Million Man was the hottest series one did, even though, for me, it's Big Valley I liked very much." James Caan. Oscar nominee James Caan cut his teeth on TV in westerns such as Wagon Train and Death Valley Days. Then he made the leap to big-screen cowboy movies with 1965's The Glory Guys, and scored a Golden Globe nod. Almost straight after that, too, Caan shared the screen with the ultimate western star, John Wayne, in El Dorado. Caan has barely stopped working since. Notably, of course, he picked up an Oscar nom in 1973 for his part in The Godfather. And these days Caan has returned to the western with Hallmark's JL Family Ranch series. He seems to be enjoying it, too. "It's always more interesting to play the villain," he told the New York Post in 2016. Mitch Vogel. The character of Jamie Hunter Cartwright joined Bonanza in season 12 and made actor Mitch Vogel a household name. Vogel was only 14 years old at the time, and he stayed on the western hit for 3 seasons. IMDb even described the red-headed star as one of Hollywood's top performers during the late 1960s and early 1970s. But Vogel didn't turn his acting days into a lifelong career. In fact, his last credit came in 1978, just 5 years after the end of Bonanza. But he clearly only looks back on his time on the Nevada ranch with fond memories. "I'm really grateful that Bonanza has touched people like it has," the actor told Jeremy Roberts in 2017. Tim Matheson. In 1969, at the age of 22, Tim Matheson starred as Jim Horn in The Virginian. He had a decent tenure, too, playing the role for 24 episodes. And after that Matheson shifted to Western stalwart Bonanza. His time as Griff King didn't last quite as long, just 15 episodes, but both parts certainly helped shape Matheson's later career. The actor explained to Smashing Interviews magazine that he thought he was always playing the same type of character. So Matheson looked to change it up. This led him to a role in classic comedy Animal House, and his career has been suitably diverse ever since. Matheson even earned Emmy nods for his time in The West Wing and can now be seen in Netflix hit Virgin River. Clu Gulager. Clu Gulager first rose to prominence as the notorious outlaw Billy the Kid in perennial TV favorite The Tall Man. Yet he very nearly passed on the role altogether, because he wanted to work in movies. The Western was very good to the actor, though, and after 75 episodes on The Tall Man, Gulager clocked up 104 episodes of The Virginian. In the 1980s, Gulager switched from cowboy stories to horror movies. He had a good run in films such as Return of the Living Dead and a Freddy Krueger sequel. And the actor is still working today, too, though not as much as he was in the 1960s. You might even have caught a glimpse of him in Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Robert Colbert. When TV Party asked Robert Colbert about his early career, the actor had an endearing reply. "The Westerns were my favorite because I IOVED horses," he said. It's a good job, too, because Colbert spent time on plenty of those shows, including Bronco and Maverick. "I was just having more damned fun," the star explained. Colbert ticked off a few more iconic shows during his acting career, too. There was the short-lived sci-fi The Time Tunnel and an extended tenure in The Young and the Restless, among others. But Colbert's most recent IMDb credit is a 1995 episode of Baywatch, so it appears the one-time Western fixture is in retirement. Johnny Crawford. In 1959, ABC's Western The Rifleman earned 2 Emmy Award nominations. One was for Best Western Series, the other was for Johnny Crawford for Best Supporting Actor. What's amazing, though, is that Crawford was only 13 years old at the time of his Emmy nod. That speaks very highly of the impact the actor must have had on the show. In 2019, Crawford actually returned to the Western genre with the movie The Marshal, opposite Robert Carradine. Yet Crawford hasn't focused solely on acting since his days as a child cowboy star. Because he formed the Johnny Crawford Dance Orchestra in the 1990s, and you can catch his arrangements on the 2012 record Sweepin' the Clouds Away. Mickey Coon. In Mickey Coon's short but storied acting career, he starred alongside Western greats John Wayne and James Stewart. That was for 1948 classic Red River and 1950s Broken Arrow. And Coon confessed to Naples Daily News in 2017 that Wayne had been his favorite star. "I looked up to him," Coon said. Yet the dominance of Westerns in Hollywood in the 1950s was actually the reason Coon stopped acting. That's because his mom told him not to do them. "In her mind, I was a better actor than a cowboy actor, but I wasn't," he told Naples Daily News. So Coon joined the Navy and took various odd jobs throughout the years. He still talks with fondness about his Western days in Tinseltown, though. Raquel Welch. Everybody's seen that poster of Raquel Welch on the beach in 1,000,000 years BC. But there is more to the actress than her beauty. She earned a Golden Globe for 1973's The Three Musketeers, for one thing. And she also brought her incredible presence to the Western genre in Bandolero, 100 Rifles and, significantly, 1971's Honey Calder. Honey Calder actually turned out to partly inspire Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill movies. And Welch's enduring appeal hasn't been lost on the general public, either. The actress had TV show Date My Dad and movie How to Be a Latin Lover out in 2017, after all.